Joining us this morning, the week of Valentine's Day, but if you're watching it recorded, I don't know when that's going to be. And we're so happy to have you here. Today, the Minority Business Development Agency, in collaboration with the Small Business Development Center, and Fran will share a little bit more, are hosting a webinar on creating a website and why it's important for you. And I just wanted to make clear from the beginning, and I'll make sure to mention this at the end as well. For all of you business owners that are attending this webinar and you are interested in getting a free service of a website created for your business, please contact us. We will send a follow-up email after this presentation with Esteban's PowerPoint and contact information for all the presenters today. And we will also have that question that if your business is needing a upgrade or just a new or first time ever website, we'll be happy to provide that service free of charge. So again, my name is Gabriela Marquez. I am Center Director for the New Mexico Minority Business Development Agency. And we are an agency that's federally funded through the U.S. Department of Commerce and operated under the city of Albuquerque, but we work with the whole state of New Mexico and beyond. And our goal is to support minority-owned companies throughout the state. So this is why we're having one of these webinars. We want to make sure that businesses are findable online and that people can work with you directly. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. We work a lot with businesses, support them if they have questions around access to capital, access to new markets, access to contracting, and then of course, a lot of one-on-one consulting, which is the capability, capacity building. Very good. Well, I'll turn it over to Fran now. Thank you, and enjoy the webinar this morning.
Excellent. Well, good morning, everyone. I was going to share my screen here. Here we go. And I just wanted to just talk to you guys a little bit about our Small Business Development Center at Central Mexico Community College. I am Fran Fernandez. I'm the director of the Small Business Development Center at Central Mexico Community College, the SBDC at CNM. And we are just happy to be here to share to take a few minutes and share with you how we serve the small business community in the state. The Small Business Development Center program is a program that's was founded in 1989. It's been in service for 34 years, and we help small business owners across the state of New Mexico. We have 18 service centers across New Mexico, and we have a highly skilled staff that is comprised of 63 business professionals that have business management experience and business ownership expertise. We work with our small business clients in so many different ways. On the screen, we have our different client services that we do provide. The main services that we provide include our no-cost confidential business counseling and low to no-cost business education trainings. We serve our clients by helping folks start small businesses, help them grow small businesses, and most importantly, to stay in business. And so we do that by providing technical startup and existing business assistance, so we can help people at any stage of business development that they may be in. We can also work with our business clients on developing business and marketing plans, from just getting started to reviewing completed plans. We can review different funding options and assess what's the best options for our business clients if they're looking for a small business loan or other types of funding that may be available to them. We also have different tools that are available to provide market and industry research to help our clients understand the market that they're operating in. And we also offer bilingual counseling, so we can provide service to our Spanish-speaking clients in our community as well. And, our whole mission is to develop our skilled entrepreneurs and strong businesses throughout the state. So please, like I say, I encourage you to visit our website at www.nmsbdc.org to learn more about our program and to register for our counseling and training services. We are all here to assist you, to help you with your business needs, and we want you to be successful. So please reach out. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our speaker today, which is Mr. Esteban Martinez, and he is going to take it away. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fran. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great morning. Cold, got a little bit of snow over here, so I'm by the UNM area. So I hope everybody's doing well today. As mentioned, I am here supporting the New Mexico Minority Business Development Agency and SBDC. So huge thanks to them for having me involved in this initiative. We're helping small businesses, and we're helping small businesses here in New Mexico. And my responsibility, and I have the joy of helping small businesses get an online presence. So I know that the needs for a website are different for each person and each business. Maybe you already have an existing website, but maybe it was built 5 years ago, and a lot of things have changed in terms of modern design, security, optimization for websites. Or maybe you don't, or you've never had a website and you're thinking, how are we going to get clients to know who we are and what we do and that we exist? And that's what we're speaking about today. So why every small business needs a website. There are benefits, and then I have a quick how to get started. But TLDR, we have a lot of resources to help you get online. So even though you can do it yourself, why not let us help? So a little bit about me, Esteban Martinez, web design and developer. I've been specializing in helping small businesses get an online presence for a few years now. I've helped a lot of small businesses in the Albuquerque area and also in Southern Texas. My parents live in El Paso, and I've helped some of their friends get online too. So you never know who's in the room. You never know who needs this help. I've also helped a lot of technical startups get an online presence. And then something that I do for CNM is connecting tech talent to tech opportunities in New Mexico. It's all about workforce development. The more education, the more tech that we have here in the state, the more businesses are going to grow, and the more businesses want to come to New Mexico, and all of that helps everybody in the state. So this is just one part of a way that I can contribute to workforce development and economic development in New Mexico. Let's see. So here's a quick agenda of what we're going to speak about today. I always tell folks when I do these webinars that I'm not going to take the full time, and then I almost always lie about that. So I'm going to try to keep it to the hour. We will have a Q&A after this if you have any questions. But yeah, we're going to look at some statistics benefiting small business websites. I have the top 5 reasons. There's probably 100 reasons why you should have a website now. So I have the top 5 that I think are going to help this group. Responsive design, if that's something you've never heard about, that is basically having a website that looks good on all devices. And it is really a must now for this modern world. How to get started. Let's have a starter kit here for you, but there's other ways that we can help, and I hope you take advantage of those funds. We'll have a quick Q&A session, and then thank you very much for having me. So the numbers never lie. So here's a few numbers, statistic that I found online about why small businesses must have a website. Consumers research online before making a purchase almost always. I know I do. If I am thinking about buying something, first thing I do is I go online and I Google that product, and then I see what companies offer that product or that service. If I'm out and about and I'm not by my laptop, I get my phone out and I do the same thing. So being online for visibility is so important nowadays, especially in a mobile view. And we'll speak about that here shortly. Credibility and trust. If you don't have a website as a consumer, there's already a trust issue there with the consumer, right? So 84% believe that small businesses are more credible than if they have a website than without a website. So we're starting to build trust. And this is business 101. From the first impression that you have with potential clients, that is going to steer the rest of the relationship with them. So if they are looking for your service and they find you online and they see a modern, fast, good-looking website, already right there, you've gained their trust. And then they're going to explore your services or your products. And then, small businesses that have a website experience 39% year-over-year revenue growth than without, because we are also in a post-pandemic, post-work at home, stay at home kind of lifestyle now, and folks are going to do more business online than ever. So if you are not online and your competition is, they're going to get your business, and that's not what we are here to do. We are here for you to get business, right? So yeah, just a couple of numbers here to kind of influence the importance of having an online presence. So we're going into the top 5 reasons that I think you should have a business online right now. First off is visibility. If you are starting your new business today or last week or here in a week or two, the familiars, your family, your friends, they know about your product, they know about your services. They can just pick up their phone, text you, and make a buy right there. But outside of that social group and that professional group, no one knows you exist right now. And that's an issue, right? We want to make sure that they know you exist. 93% of customers, they're always looking for local businesses online. I know I do it. I did it this morning, right? We all do that. So we need to be on there and having a nice logo, having good branding. That is the first impression that you want from your clients. They want to know that you're credible, that you are visible, and that you are available to them. So let's attract more customers with that website. And there is a difference between a professional looking website and a non-professional looking website. And people and clients, they will always eat with their eyes first. So if you look professional and if you seem professional to them immediately, you gain their trust for the rest of that sale or that interaction with them. Cost-effective marketing. I speak about this all the time when I'm speaking with my clients. I always ask them, okay, I'm going to build you this website. What are you going to do with that website afterwards? And I think that's important to start thinking about marketing yourself online. Having an online presence is very different than having a store in the mall. If I had a store in the mall, it's only open when the mall's open. Customers have to physically get ready, get in their car, go to the mall, go through hundreds of teenagers just to get to my shop because it's in the mall. But when it's online, it's there forever. It can be accessed anywhere in the world at any time and on any device, right? So when we speak about marketing, having a website is the best type of marketing because you get to specifically tell clients what it is that you do. So, when I think of print ads and billboards and radio and television, those are all great marketing, but it's kind of high cost to get a commercial on TV right now or a radio ad. But with online marketing, you can start a blog and write blog posts. You can click a couple of buttons and add yourself to the Google search, right? So that you come up first, and it's much more cost effective than a traditional methods. Ongoing costs of maintaining the website are generally low, right? So building the website, hosting the website, that's pretty much a one-time cost. Every now and then there might be a website break, but that's where professionals like myself make sure that that doesn't happen. But once it's up, it's live, and you could probably keep that website going for less than $100 a year. And that is 365 days of visibility to your clients. And it's accessed by everybody in the world. Somebody at 3 a.m. in Spain, in their pajamas, on their phone, can find you and make an order or speak about your costs and speak about your services. So being accessible, super important nowadays. Let's see. Improved customer engagement. We are building relationships. The best thing about business is getting return business, and it's much cheaper to get a return client than it is to get a new client. So when you have an online presence and you have branding and you've made a sale, that is a building. Those are the foundations and the fundamentals of building a clientele pipeline. So enhanced user experience. You get to provide content, an interface that is easy to navigate for your clients. And when you make things easy on a website for clients, they are going to thank you because a lot of times they already have something in mind. That's why they're reaching out to you. So we want to continue to capture that attention. We want them to stay on our site. We don't want them to look at our site and not be able to find the products page or the services page. So The reason for that is because if they can't, they're going to press the back button and they're going to go to a competitor's website. And if the competitor is doing that and you aren't, you're not going to make that sale. Engage customers with surveys, with forums, with content. Let them know what's going on in your world, new products, right? Get their email address, be able to tell them about events or a new service that you've added. And that's going to continue to build that relationship. And then we want to keep customers engaged. This is social proof. And if you have a service, there's nothing more powerful for small business than referrals. So if you have a website and I buy something from you and I have a good experience with your business, then I'm going to copy that URL. I'm going to send it to a friend who is also looking for those services. And that's how we can build a relationship for the long run for your small business. Increase sales. The reason we're all here right now is to increase sales, right? We want more revenue. We want to sell more products. We want to sell more of our services. We want to let folks know that we exist. Running a small business is fun, but at the end of the day, we're doing it for a goal of improving our lives, improving other people's lives, and generating revenue. That's why we're all here. So you're going to make more sales if you have a website because you are more accessible to the client anywhere in the world. So reach more customers. A website can help a business reach a larger audience by providing a platform that they can go back to. Maybe they're just researching the product or the service, and they come across your website, they bookmark it, they're thinking about it for a week, and when they're ready to buy, they know where to go because they've already found you online. And then the customer experience, there's so many times that I've had a question about a product or a service, and not a lot of folks want to pick up their phone and call people nowadays. We want to go to a website and press a button and send an email with our question and have that email responded to us quickly. That's just how the modern world works right now. So if we have an online presence, we're going to be able to engage with the customers a lot more, especially those who, grew up with a mobile phone in their hand. They want to get a hold of you in non-traditional ways, and email and social media. Those are the ways that clients are interacting with small businesses nowadays. So you want to increase your sales, we have to be accessible to those clients. A competitive advantage. If you have a secure, fast, modern, clean looking website and your competition does not, the client will always go to you. So if you're thinking about your small business niche, I'm building a website right now for a physical therapist who was part of an organization and she wanted to start her own practice. So she called me and said, hey, I know that I need a website and we're building that right now. And in my initial research, I didn't find a lot of therapy competitors who had good looking websites. So this is an advantage to her to have a modern website because her competition has a website. Some of them have websites that were built years ago. They're not mobile responsive. They don't look good on a cell phone. Hers will, and she's going to get a lot more sales because of that. So we're building trust, credibility from the moment they hear about your business to the end of the sell process. We are building trust and credibility with our clients. And then we also want to provide information. What is it that we do? What do we specialize in? Maybe you get a testimonial, a review, highlight some awards, and just having a good looking website already puts you in the driver's seat as a subject matter expert for whatever service or product that you offer, because it looks good and we're going to eat with our eyes always first. Cool. So how effective is mobile responsiveness in a website? I think it's really huge nowadays because everybody has a smartphone in their pocket at any time. They can pick it up, open up a web browser, find a service, find a product. You can do so much with a cell phone right now. So it's so important that our websites look good on a mobile phone. And there are so many times that I'm looking for a service and I'm out with some friends, maybe at a restaurant, and I don't want to forget about something that I need to buy. So pick up my phone, Google that service or product, and then I look for the company that I want to buy from. And if the website doesn't look good on a mobile phone, immediately I'm thinking about how old is this website? How serious is this business that they don't have a website that looks good on a mobile phone in 2023? Are they credible? I'm trying to find information, but all the text is so small. I have to zoom in on my phone every time I want to read about their services. And eventually I'm going to not enjoy that. And I'm going to look for another competitor who is offering the same service or product. And if I can use their website on my phone a lot easier, and the flow is much cleaner, it's fast, it's modern, more trust, more credibility, and most likely they're going to get my money, basically, that I'm going to buy from them, right? So according to a Google survey, 61% of users are unlikely to return to a mobile site they had trouble accessing, and 40 will visit a competitor's site instead. It happens every single day. It's happening as we speak right now. Someone had a potential client that looked at their services, product, and website on a phone, and it wasn't accessible to them. They went to another one, it looked good to them. That company got the service. Mobile friendly sites have a 26% higher conversion rate than non-mobile friendly sites. So not only are you going to be more accessible to your clients, build trust and credibility with them, but you're going to convert more sales because they can access you anywhere in the world, and it looks good and it's fast. We live in a society right now where we want instant gratification. And if I have to wait 5-10 seconds for a page to load, maybe I go to somebody else. It's just a human natural habit that we need to be prepared for. So that's what mobile responsiveness is important for. And I have an example here. Let me see if I can bring this over. So I found this website. I have a couple of website examples here, but I found this website and it's called a non-responsive website. This is an example of a non-responsive website. So this website was built for a laptop or a desktop only. They weren't thinking about their customers or their clients being on their mobile phones, which I think is a huge mistake nowadays. So if I were to bring this down, what you'll see is it scales down, but at a certain viewpoint, it's not going to move. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go over this text, hide this text. This is what it's going to look like on a mobile phone. This is what I'm not seeing on your website, on my mobile phone, right? Because it's not responsive. We're missing a lot of information. Just doesn't look professional. I can't get to the menu here. If I want to get to the menu, I have to come up here and then I'm going to have to scroll here to the side just to get to your blog, right? So this is something that we do not want to happen. Let me show you. This is a website that I built for the organization that I work for right now. This was one of my first websites about 4 years ago. It's been updated since, but this is an example of what responsive design looks like. If I scale this down, you'll see that everything's moving, and it's basically putting itself in the viewpoint of the device that's being used. So you can see the text moving, the image is scaling down. Look at the menu here. I have a menu here, but on a phone, I'm going to have this button. And how many times do we see this? This is the universal. This is a menu button. I'm going to press it, and now I can access this anywhere on the page. I don't have to go up. I don't have to scroll. I can just go to the menu right here. This is just modern design right here. You can see everything moving. It's scrunching up to a point, and then it's going to scale down. I'm not missing any information, and at all times, that navigation is available to my clients. Let's look at another one. Let's see. This was a website that I built a couple of years ago. I'm glad that they kept up with it. Here's another example of this, where everything is going to be scaling down like that. We're not missing any information here. Everything looks good, and it's fast. Everything is loading pretty quickly. Cool. So how do we get started? You know the importance. I think everybody knows the importance of having an online presence for small business, big businesses, an organization. How do you get started? So here's just a quick 5-point. This is what you got to do for the minimum to get an online presence. So you need to buy a domain name and find a host. So Nike.com, CVS.com, petboys.com, right? That is the name of your business in a URL form. It's part of your branding. A host is basically a big supercomputer housed somewhere where it's going to house all of your company information and your website. So anytime you go to a website and it loads up, that's actually loading from a computer that website is hosted on. So you probably heard of the GoDaddies and the Bluehosts. Those are hosting services, right? And they just house your files and your website. Now you need to research the industry. You need to find out what is your mission, who is your clientele, what information do they need, what is your competition doing? I love to mimic success, and I tell this to all my students and small businesses that I've helped in the past, is find those companies who are showing up in the first page of Google, look through their website. What is it that they are explaining about their products? What questions are they answering right away? What services are they offering? And that's all the research that you're going to put into your website to make sure that if you know your client is asking these questions, we need to have those answers on your website. If they are not, they're going to go to somebody else's to find those answers. So that's the research part. Design and develop a full website. So making sure that you design from a mobile view first. We want to design a website that is going to look good on a desktop, on an iPad, on a tablet, and on a mobile phone. So that's part of the design process. And then after you design it, you physically build it. I specialize in WordPress sites, and I'm going to speak about how we can help you here in a little bit, but WordPress is so powerful. I think 40% of websites on the web right now are actually a WordPress site. So you can pay thousands of dollars for custom coded websites. And if you're a huge organization, maybe that's what you need. But if you're a small business right now and you have an old website, or you don't have a website at all, you don't need any of that custom code. What I love about WordPress is I build these WordPress sites for clients, and then I train them on how to use it. And let's say you get more photos, you get more content, you want to add more products, you want to add more services. You can either call your web developer and pay them a fee to make those changes, or you can do it yourself with the power of WordPress. And I think it's super powerful for small businesses who don't have a big budget to constantly be paying somebody to update their website when you can do it yourself after it's been built. So after the build, the first thing we got to do is we got to make sure that it's optimized. Slow websites are small business killers. If your website is slow loading because of images and text, we're not, as clients, we're not going to wait for that. We just don't have the patience for it. So we will go to a competitor's website, and if it's fast and it's secure and it's modern, they're probably going to get our business. But that's not an issue that anybody in this room is going to have, because you know the importance of it, and you also have access to resources like myself who can do this for you. We need to test it. We need to make sure it's secure. If you have an e-commerce website, which is also a service that we provide, and you have physical products to sell, and your client is going to be using a credit card on your website to pay for your services or your product, we need to make sure that that is secure. And that is something that WordPress is really great about, is making sure security is their top priority. And then we deploy and maintain. So when we're building a website, it's not accessible to the world. When all the testing optimization is done, you deploy it, you have it live out in the world. Anybody can access it from anywhere in the world. And then all you have to do is maintain it and add to it. And that's kind of the process of having an online presence. So you can do all of these steps yourself, or you can let us help, right? So this is what we're here for today. There are funds available to utilize my services in building a small business website. free of charge for those in this room. And I think that's super important because we don't want to hold any business back because they don't have access to funds for a website, they don't have the knowledge of a website, or they don't know any web developers to help them. And that's why we're doing this webinar, because we have all three of those resources available to you. And I strongly suggest that you utilize those. And from my understanding, I think June is the deadline to take advantage of these resources and these funds. So even if you don't plan to start your business or sell your products until later this year, I still think you should get a website going so that everything is built and the foundations are put together so that when you are ready to start your business, you're ready to go with a website. This is what we offer, pretty much the same thing that I put in that other slide is industry research. So this is my basic workflow when working with a client is we have an initial chat. What is it that you want to portray to your potential clients? What are your services? What makes you unique? And then let's look at the industry. If you are, for example, the website that I'm building right now for a physical therapist, I want to know what other physical therapy consultation agencies are speaking about. What information are they portraying to their potential clients? What questions are they answering? What products do they have? All of that is important because you want to at least match what your competition is doing, if not exceed what they're doing to stay competitive and to get those clients. Modern, responsive web design, that is my mantra. You need to be accessible to anybody in the world on any device, and that's what we offer. And that's what I specialize in, responsive design. Hosting, optimization, and security. So you're worried about, I don't understand hosting. I don't understand how to optimize, I don't understand how to optimize my website. I'm worried about taking credit card payments on my website. All of those are not your worries anymore if you work with us. Those are my worries, and I make sure that those are working correctly, that you're hosted. I've spoken to the New Mexico Minority Business Development Agency about hosting for 1 year. So not only are you going to get a website with these funds, but you're also going to get 1 year of hosting and also 1 year of maintenance with myself. So let's say I build a website, everything's going great, and then 4 months later you need a new page. You decided you want a blog, right? So you reach out to me, and with a couple of clicks, a couple of hours work, I put that together for you. And let's say 3 months later, there's an issue with some speed. Some of the images aren't loading. You reach out to me, I look at what's going on, I fix that for you. So you have that for up to a year. After a year, we can have a separate conversation about continuing my services on my end, but at least for this project purpose and the resources that are presented to you today, for at least 1 year, you will have a website and maintenance and security and hosting. So you don't have to worry about any of that. So yeah, that's what we're offering here today. And I hope a lot of folks take advantage of that. So these are the two types of websites that we're offering. These are the most used websites around the world. One is an informational website. So you have a business that offers a service and you just need an online presence. You're not having a store on your website. You just want folks to know that you exist. You want to be able to answer their questions, build some trust, credibility, and then they come to your shop and you make a sale that way, right? So we'll have a consultation about design and brand. We'll help you with the logo. And then we're going to make sure that you have a fast, modern, mobile responsive WordPress site. We will host it for a year. And then security, updates, maintenance, all of that's taken care of for the first year. The other type of website that we are going to specialize in are e-commerce websites. So maybe you do have physical products that you want to sell online and you want to make sure that it's accessed from anywhere in the world, make those sales. That's also something that we can help you with. And I have a couple of examples of that too. So what is an e-commerce website? This is Nike.com. Everybody knows Nike. This is their branding. Everybody knows this icon. So that's kind of what you want to do. You want to have a logo that when folks see that out in the real world, they're like, oh yeah, that company does this. That company is known for that. Cool. This is where you can come and sell your products. This is Nike's website. This is built with WordPress. So they use the same tools that I use when I build e-commerce websites for clients. You can speak about your products, high quality photos. That would be a responsibility of yourself. So content and images, those are things I have access to. Those are things that you will have to provide me, but I can also help you out with that. And yeah, so let's shop Runaway Looks. Let's see. Nice, fast, secure website. I already know Nike. I have credibility with them. I have shopped on this website too. That's why I'm showing it. But this is where you can show your products, influence them with high quality images. Click on this shoe right here. And then this is where you can show all the different types of models and colors you have for the shoe, all these sizes. You can add it to a shopping cart. And then, of course, these are probably questions that they want the client to know about. Information. Here's some information on how to find a store. Here's some reviews. Referrals and reviews are super important for e-commerce sites. Lots of good photos. And then this is where you're going to upsell. So they came for shoes, but now you're putting into their viewpoint that those shoes would look great with this. And then that is how you continue to build a clientele. And that's also how you make another sell when you have their attention right now. They are ready to buy from your website. And before they buy, they see something else that they also like. So instead of selling one product, you're selling two. You might also like this, right? These are related products. If you enjoy this type of shoe, maybe you'll enjoy this type of shoe. This is all marketing 101. And Nike is, they want to help athletes and they want to help folks look good and be comfortable. But at the end of the day, they want to sell their product. And everything about this website is to help the customer press that buy now button. So here's one of those. Let me see, I thought I had another. So here is an example of a bad e-commerce website, right? So when I open this right away, there's a lot of colors here. I can't even see these options on the menu until I hover over them. This About Us, I didn't even know that was there until I hovered over. And it's not very responsive. So look at what happens when I move my viewpoint and I make it to a smaller window. Everything's kind of crashing into each other, right? That's not what we want. So that's what this website looks like on a tablet. And if I'm on a tablet and I'm trying to buy some cereal and I find this website, this is what it's going to be. This is what I'm going to see right away. The buttons aren't aligned here. I can't even read what's going on here. They've lost my trust. This just doesn't seem like a credible website to me. So I'm going to go to a competitor's website, and this company just lost a sell because their website wasn't accessible to me. Great. Cool. So yeah, that's really the end of my presentation right now. I'm happy to open it up for questions and thoughts. I'll stop sharing my screen now. Are there any questions that I can answer from this group? I don't know if they go, I think there's a Q&A part on Zoom. So even if you can't speak, you can always put a question in the chat there.
Absolutely. That was such a great presentation, Esteban. So much great information. I was going to ask you, like, what kind of things do folks need, like, to when they meet with you, right? I mean, what do they need to bring with them, right? What would be helpful to have ready for their, your meeting?
It's an excellent question, and an important question too, because there are things that I have to set up before we're able to even build that website. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a chat. And I want to know what are the most important things about your product or your service that need to be on your website. And then the other thing is content. So what is your mission? Who is working for, who's part of your team? What does your product do? What makes it unique from all the other products out there that are similar? And then images. So really content and images, because we're meeting for the first time and maybe I'm not familiar with your product or your service. I'm just like every other customer who doesn't know what you provide yet. So getting that information first, it will drive the design, it will drive the content that we want to put on there. And then of course, I mean, what's more powerful than a nice, high quality image on your website that loads fast? All of those things are going to influence the client. So images and content. If you're interested in taking advantage of these resources and getting a website, or you have an existing website and you want it upgraded, those are the two things that I'm really going to ask for is content about your product, services, company, and then some good images. And then, yeah, I take it from there.
Perfect.
Great question.
Excellent.
See a couple of other questions here. Review again, services are available and why they are available. So the services actually, let's go back to, we'll answer that question here a little bit, because I think that's about, that can probably be answered by Gabriella about how to take advantage of this. And they're going to be the contact person. I'm just building the website, so they know all the business stuff about that. So we'll get back to that, Carolyn. Maria, I have an existing website. Do I call you or email you to set up an appointment? So that, again, everything is going to be driven through the New Mexico Minority Business Development Agency. So you get a hold of them, and then they're going to put you in contact with me, because they're the ones with the funds. So we want to take advantage of those funds. If you want to reach out to me and pay for the services on your own, you can email me. But I highly, highly, highly recommend you take advantage of these resources first. Do you help with making a logo if needed? So logos are, initially they weren't part of the, quote unquote, package that I'm going to give with a website, but that is definitely something that I can help you with. And then I also have some folks in my network that can help with logos. Logos are always very subjective. So the logo that I think looks good, it might not look good to you. Maybe you have a logo design already, or you have an idea of a logo, but it's not eye-catching for a client in terms of marketing. So what I suggest is go through the New Mexico Minority Business Development Agency, get in contact with me, and then when we have a chat, we can chat about your logo, and then I can mock up a few ideas, or maybe you have something in mind already, and then we jot it down. And honestly, there's a lot of resources online to generate a logo for free with a couple of clicks of a button. And usually what I do with clients who don't have a logo already is I will show them some of those resources, they'll play around with it, and sure enough, within a day, they have built their own logo using these online free softwares that they're happy with, and then we use that logo. So I can certainly help you with that. I've designed a few logos in the past, not really my strong point, but we can certainly help with that too. Let's see. Is it important to have a web presence when doing government contracting? I think so, absolutely. Right now, I have a professional portfolio as a web designer, and what it does is it builds up trust, and it allows somebody to check out your work right away. So whenever I'm speaking with a potential client, I always send them a link to my online portfolio. I am a contractor, basically. I contract for small businesses or, freelancing. So having that presence and letting folks know your specialty, your experience, I think it's super important. And actually, I'm just going to share my screen one more time. I'm going to show you an example of this because I realize I have one. Not this website. That's not my portfolio. So this is my online portfolio. I used this when I was job hunting as a web developer and also for freelance opportunities. And this is what it's basically, it's telling folks what I do, who I am, and my specialties, right? So if you are in government contracting, you probably have a specialty. And anytime you're working with government entities, that trust and credibility, I mean, it even goes even higher. It's so necessary to portray yourself as a professional when trying to get government contracts. So the way to do that is to be pretty intentional with how you present yourself for these contracting opportunities. And then here's like a online resume that I have. So anytime, I'm trying to build trust with these clients, or, maybe get a job in web development. That was my goal back in the day. It's not anymore, but I want to let them know my experience. I want them to know that I've done this before and that I've worked with folks before and I've already helped folks before. So this is a way for them to check out some of my works. And then, of course, here's a portfolio. We saw some of the websites that I've built. I think it's super important to be able to click and check out my work. And that's going to further influence the customer to sell or to buy from me or to give me that contract. So yes, I've built many websites that weren't websites to sell a service or a product. It was more of an online resume, and I can certainly help you with that too. Let's see. How do you feel about Google My Business? So I've never worked with Google My Business before. I think Google, obviously, biggest company in the world, and a lot of things when building a website and getting an online presence and marketing, you have to play ball with Google, and they have standards to make sure that they are showing trusted websites to clients. So anytime we're dealing with Google or dealing with search engine optimization, I think it's super important to play ball with them and make sure that we're making Google happy, because when Google is happy, more customers are going to come to your website. They're going to be influenced to buy your product or your service. So I don't have a lot of experience with Google, with My Business on the Google platform, but I have a lot of experience setting up the foundation so that you can be searched in a Google search, which is how everybody finds anything nowadays. Is it a good idea to do live streaming from your site if you're a retailer? So let me see. Live streaming from your site. I'm not super clear on that question. If you're a retailer and you have an e-commerce site, what I think this question is asking is, would you want to have some type of webinar like this? And that's up to you. That would be a business decision. Right now, this is a business decision, me doing this presentation. So if your service needs clients and this is a way to get clients, then sure, you can do that. But live streaming from your own site, I would suggest not doing that, mainly because what it's going to do is it's going to slow down your site. So everything on the web needs to load. And when there's loading, they're loading code, they're loading images, they're loading video, audio, and the more you have of those things, the more time it's going to take to load your website. So in terms of streaming something like this on your site, I would just stick to the Zooms and the Google Meets of the world. Let's see. So Mary, let's see. Mary already has a domain, a logo, and a web page on Shopify, which she does not recommend. And I've helped a lot of small clients get off of those Wix and Shopify platforms and have their own site. So Mary, I'm with you there. Functionality, the support is only designed to force me to hire one of their experts. Yep, that is correct. That is what they do. So these sites, they will help you build a good looking website, but then you have to pay every month to keep that website live. And then if you need any help, you need to hire somebody out. So if there was any, depending on what the functionality is, when working with me and working with the Minority Business Development Agency, is that once a month we would have a check-in. I'm going to make sure everything's updated and security, all of that is always going to happen 24/7. That's the hosting platform that I use. They offer those types of tools. And then for 1 year, I would be able to help you with that. So if there's something with the responsiveness, if there's an issue with that, we have a quick chat and I would make that, I would fix that for you right then and there. let's see, so Mary has a WordPress website. Have had little difficulty setting it up and updating. It's a whole different animal to sell things from a website. I do not sell books or anything off the WordPress site. I will be contacting you. Yeah, so definitely. And again, everything for these resources and consultation needs to go through the Minority Business Development Agency. I want to stress that, because not only are they going to give you funds to help with this website and marketing and all of that, but they have so many other resources that are going to help you with your small business. And it doesn't matter if you're a seasoned professional or first-time business owner, you need those resources, and they've done a very, very good job doing that. So definitely go through them, and they will put you in contact with me. And if you want to sell anything on your existing WordPress site, then we update it with a couple of WordPress plugins. One is WooCommerce. That's what I utilize for e-commerce websites. And as long as you have a WordPress website right now, we can convert it into an e-commerce site, and these funds can help get that going. So is it an option for live streaming? So there's a couple of platforms. There's a platform called twitch.com. So TWITCH.TV. I don't think it's a .com. I think it's .tv. And what they do is they do live streaming for influencers, and sometimes I watch people play video games on there. So they're live streaming from that platform. I think it could be an option. I'm sure there's a way for you to do webinar stuff just like this on your own website. I've never done that for a client, so I'm always up for new challenges. So that could be a chat that we have. But again, I would suggest against it, because like I said, it's going to slow down a lot of the functionality of your website already. So it probably is an option, but something I probably wouldn't recommend. But again, go through the Minority Business Development Agency. They'll put you in contact with me, and then we can have a more in-depth conversation about that. Cool. And then so those are all the questions except for Carolyn, who is asking about a review of the services available, when they're available. So I don't know if Gabriella, you want to take that question on? Thank you.
Yes, I will. And thank you so much for that question. It's a good question. Like, why are these services being offered for free? What is the catch? The catch is just that the U.S. Department of Commerce has graciously given to MBDA funds so that we can support minority-owned companies and just businesses in general here in the state of New Mexico. And while we can't give funds directly to businesses, we figured out the best way to make best use of those funds is to give actual professional services to the businesses. So that's why we are engaging with Esteban, who is a professional creating websites. We wanted to give a webinar so that business owners can have like a general overview of why this is important. But we want to make sure that the businesses have access to it. So our existing relationship is that 20 businesses will get website created. So if it's something that you're interested in, please reach out to us. I know that some of you just sent an inquiry form, so that's great. We will also send a follow-up email to all the participants here today with Esteban's presentation, Fran from SBDC, her contact information, MBDA's contact information, and then please follow up if it's something that you're interested in. And of course, we will follow up as well to make sure that you'll have access to these services for the coming year. So that is the why. It's U.S. Department of Commerce really trying to support minority-owned companies as they come out of the pandemic, and we try to support their growth. So I hope that answers the question. And I don't know if there was any other question related to. Oh, there was a question also, I think Diana was asking about logos. So thank you so much, Esteban, for offering, those free resources. I would be very interested in seeing them as well. But just so that everyone knows as well, we are in the process of hiring a contractor as well that can help with logos. It will be a limited number of logos that we can offer. So I'm grateful to know about these free resources as well. But if that's something that you are interested in, please let us know. That should be coming up in a month or so. so that businesses also have access to, you know, a graphic designer who's an artist who can create a logo for you as well. And let me see if there's any other questions, but go ahead.
That's awesome, Gabriella, and I didn't know that that was gonna be offered. So that is even more like, if I was a small business right now and I'm worried about a logo and a website and I'm in the room right now, I would take advantage of all of those resources. There are free tools online to help you build a logo, but nothing will ever substitute a professional who you get to have a chat with and speak about your mission and speak about your branding, and then let the professionals build a logo that is specific to you. So for the logo question, yes, we can help you. It won't be me, but we can help you.
Exactly. And then there was a question about why only 20 businesses for the website. Well, that's just a matter of funding. Unfortunately, we don't have all the funds in the world. On side note, MBDA is trying to secure additional funding so that we can continue these services. And just so that everyone's aware, we're not just offering website creation services. If you go on our website, for example, next Thursday, we are offering a webinar that's about creating a video that's branding your business. So we will have another contractor that we have a conversation with who will present about what is the importance of having videos to promote your business. And then after that webinar, we're also going to be offering, I forget the number, what is it, Sophia? 15 or 20 businesses that will also have access to a free video created, 90-second video promoting your business. And then the following weeks, every week, we will have a webinar about a topic for businesses that will also have free services related to it, including accounting, including logo creation, like we mentioned, including legal advice. So there's a lot that's coming up in the next week. So make sure to, you know, be connected to MBDA and SBDC so you know what's coming up.
Awesome. If there's any other questions, I know we are right on time, so I didn't lie. I didn't lie about going over too much, and I might actually need to use some of that accounting services too. So you know, this is what organizations like this are really great about, is a one-stop hub that can help you with everything. So yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to speak today. I hope to speak to a lot of the participants here in the near future. Let's get you online. Let's make you more money for your small business with an online presence. So thank you so much to the team too.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and please send your questions and comments.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good week.
Good week.